What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back with a new video, and today it is time that we discuss the 2024 Republican primary for president. Now, let me be 100% clear. Yes, this is going to double as both a prediction and an analysis. Why? Because, quite frankly, there's only like 4 states to talk about this early on, and well, yeah, you can't really do a video of four state prediction in, 10 minutes or whatever. You just can't. So that's the disclaimer that this is going to combine as technically 2 videos because they're such shorter topics that it just makes the most sense. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below. Guys, go follow Real American Politics on Twitter. We gotta get those numbers up, of course. Go follow the Rumble page. We have exclusive content there. It's the best. It's a pretty good alternative to YouTube. And, of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $3 a month, you could join Real American, which is a phenomenal deal as it helps support the daily content we all know and love. You love the daily content? Well, that is the best way to support the daily content. Click that blue button down below and you can join the channel today just for $3 a month. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, everybody, let's get into it. So, the 2024 Republican primary. Before we even discuss, how the race is shaping up, yada yada, we gotta discuss who are the major candidates going into the primary. Now, this will probably change. Let's be real here. This map is not going to be the same as it will be in January of next year. It's just a fact. That's how primaries go. But as of now, there are 7 candidates that I would consider are major, or they're teetering on major or minor candidate. Now, a couple of these have technically not announced. Tim Scott, he's all but announced. Stop this, it's just an exploratory committee crap. He's running. Ron DeSantis, he hasn't formalized anything, but he's trying to change the state law where you can't run for president and all that stuff. So I think he's running. I think that's kind of not really a guarantee, but it's very likely at this point in time. And of course, you got the other ones, Trump, Haley, Ramaswamy. And for most of these candidates, I use the Wikipedia definition. Ramaswamy, he's getting some significant media coverage, and he has been included in major national polling. As Hutchinson's included because, well, he was a former governor, he's useless, and he has been in some national polling. Now, the one oddball that a lot of people, I don't get why they're not calling him a major candidate just yet, is Perry Johnson. Now, I do understand that he hasn't been included that much in national polling, but so far he's spending the most on Iowa of any candidate. He's spending the most money on the state of Iowa for the caucus. And while there's been a couple polls being released that Johnson, he's already passed the threshold for delegates in the state of Iowa, which that's been the next point. In the first 4 states, only one of them, I would say, has a significant threshold. The other one, it's a winner-take-all state. So what do I mean by that? It's what percent of the vote do you have to get delegates? And in the first 4 states, it's estimated to be around 137 delegates. Again, these could slightly change because of population and the RNC changing just a bit. But based on 2020 numbers, there will be around 137 delegates in Iowa, New Hampshire, and on the same day in, I think, the second week of February, both South Carolina and Nevada will be on the same day. And in Iowa and Nevada, there's virtually no threshold. Iowa, there's none. In Nevada, I think it's like 3%. So while a threshold does exist, if you get 3% of the vote, you automatically get delegates. New Hampshire is the only one of the 4 that has a serious threshold of 10%. So you have to get 10% statewide or in a congressional district to get delegates in that region, which I'm not going to explain the delegate stuff because it's confusing, but essentially the state gets some delegates, in each congressional delegate or congressional district, they get their own delegates. So you may not have to. You only need 10% in a congressional district to get delegates in that district, but you don't get it statewide. I think you get the point, but either way, those are the 3 states that are proportional. But South Carolina is the most important state for a reason. It's not like the other 3. It's winner take all. So there's what? 50 delegates up for grabs. Now, 21 of them are from congressional districts. So if you win a congressional district popular vote, you get 3 delegates. But if you win statewide, I think you get 29. You see why there's a lot of emphasis on South Carolina? Basically, whoever wins a South Carolina primary, if it's by a lot, they got the nomination wrapped up. Look at every primary the past 20 years or so. There's only like a couple times where the winner of the South Carolina primary didn't go on to win the nomination. I mean, it's becoming increasingly rare. Look at the Democrats. 2016, Clinton won the primary by a lot. She was the nominee. 2020, Bernie got shafted. Guess what? He was the nominee, or Biden was the nominee because they screwed Bernie over. Let's be real here. And in 2016, Trump trounced everybody in the state. And well, that momentum carried him to a primary nomination. So the state of South Carolina is fairly important. Now, the sad thing is, a couple states were not really getting much polling at all. Iowa, Nevada. I mean, Nevada, we've got nothing. It's kind of a shocker. But luckily, there are a couple states we are getting some primary polling. New Hampshire is kind of the big one. We're getting quite a bit of polling from New Hampshire. And I know why. South Carolina, there's a lot of emphasis on it for a reason. Because a lot of delegates up for grabs, and it's a winner-take-all state. So if you get even, let's say you lose by 1 vote statewide, you lose all 29 delegates. That's why there's been a lot of emphasis. And the reason that Nikki Haley and Tim Scott are running, because they're from the states of South Carolina, and if they win, they have serious momentum. That's why they're in this race. Let's be real. If they were from, let's say, North Carolina, they wouldn't be running. But the fact is, they do have a pathway because the fact is they are from South Carolina, and they got some leverage. And if somebody like Tim Scott or Haley somehow wins the primary in South Carolina, they may get the nomination. I mean, that's how critical the primary really is for everything, because it's winner take all. Not only do you get a lot of delegates, people start to consolidate the base behind you. That's what happens the past couple of cycles. So this is going to be fascinating to see what happens in the state of South Carolina in the polling trends, which with the polling trends, well, RCP, you just crapped out on me. Either way, nationally speaking, you look here and Trump's up by around 26.5 points, or 25 points is the average. And you've been noticing the past couple of weeks, he's been going up and up and up. I mean, look at this. Middle of March, he was around 47, 54%. Now, it's 58 or 48 to 58% in the past week or so. So, the polling data is indicating that Trump, nationally speaking, is picking up steam. And we're seeing this in the South Carolina primary. He's up by a lot. And this is without some polls included. I mean, there was a poll I know done by Trafalgar, which, hooray. But they were the only ones to pull it so far. And Trump was killing everybody. And you look at Iowa, which I don't know why there's not enough polling here yet, but the recent polling from Signal and JL Partners, they show Trump is currently winning the Iowa caucus. In a new poll from Victory Polling, which I'm not going to take 100% for granted. I'm not, saying it's 100% true. Guess what? Trump's at 54%. Yeah. He's at 54% for when you include DeSantis, Haley, Hutchinson, Ramaswamy, and Johnson. He's at 54%. And the thing is, though, you just start doing the math here. Let's say Trump ends the end of the day gets 50 4%. Let's say he gets 55% of the delegates. Let's say DeSantis gets around, 24%. Let's just say 22.5. All right, let's just say 22.5. Let's say Nikki Haley and Scott, they split the vote, very similar voters. And let's say Hutchinson gets 1, Ramaswamy gets 1, Johnson gets 1. Okay, you go to the New Hampshire. Go to the state of New Hampshire. Recent polling from Emerson and Coefficient, similar deal. And remember, the threshold's 10%. So the only ones that would get delegates in this scenario would be Trump and DeSantis. And they do some math to figure it out. But you start to realize we're going to avoid North Nevada because flat out we just don't got any polling. We literally got 0 polling except from October of last year. Yeah, that's very helpful. But you go to South Carolina, it's winner take all. And let's say Trump wins, I don't know, something like this. 39 delegates. I think actually it would be like, what is it? Do the math for me, people. Let's say 40. Let's just say 40, all right? That's off by quite a bit, actually. Actually, let's just do 41 because he wins a vast majority. Let's say DeSantis wins every other delegate. Look at that. Without even doing Nevada, Trump would have the vast majority of delegates in this scenario. So, as of now, it's not looking good for anybody else. It looks like this will be Trump's nomination. Let's say Nevada, which has a small threshold, let's say Trump gets 48%, DeSantis gets a decent amount, Haley probably gets a couple, similar deal with Scott, they get a couple, and I would see, Hutchinson and Ramaswamy both get the same, and look at that. And that's not my official prediction, but that's kind of what the math is saying right now. This is what the polling data is indicating as of now. Nationally, statewide, when there is state polls. Nevada's kind of just shot in the dark. But either way, you start doing the math. Trump would get 90 delegates of 137 of the first 4 states. Do you now see why I'm starting to have some difficulty saying Trump isn't going to be the nominee? Because, okay, let's say he loses a couple more congressional seats in Iowa. Let's say DeSantis wins a couple more. Let's give him even more than that, all right? You know what? Let's actually flip it. Let's give Trump 15. Let's give DeSantis 34. Even in that case, which DeSantis, if he does win South Carolina, would have significant momentum in a serious shot at the primary, even then, Trump would still be leading in the delegate threshold going into the Super Tuesday. And winning South Carolina, like I said, huge. It's a big indicator, but if the other candidate won the first 3 states and you just won South Carolina, you're going to need a 2020 Democrat primary where all the candidates drop out and endorse you. And even then, this is kind of a best case scenario for DeSantis. So you start doing the math. And this is why I'm not saying much about the primary at all, because I'm just being honest with you guys, it's not looking feasible for DeSantis. I'm just being real. I mean, just do the math. Just do basic math and you realize, and even then, this is kind of being favorable to DeSantis. He would probably win 9 in that case. Maybe, Nikki Haley probably gets a couple from Norman's district. Either way, just do the math. And Trump would probably be around 87, 90 delegates before Super Tuesday, while DeSantis would be in second with 30. The math just isn't there for DeSantis or anybody else as of now. Nationally, even the recent statewide polling. And plus, this isn't including some polling from Georgia, which, if it's anywhere accurate, and Trump's at 58%, it's over. It's over if he's doing that good in Georgia. He's getting like 70% in Kentucky, which I'm not really expecting much other, but still, DeSantis cannot be losing these states by 30 points and bank on Florida and Texas. The Ted Cruz strategy didn't work. They're trying to do the same thing. Look, Texas and the state of Florida, let's see how many delegates they got. Yes, there's 277 delegates. And I believe Florida is winner take all or winner take most. But you cannot lose the first 4 primary states by that much, then suddenly expect we're gonna win the state of Florida, and let's say we win every delegate in Texas. That's how we win the primary. That's an unsustainable strategy, and it's not gonna work. And unless Team DeSantis changes course and don't even run, he's gonna get embarrassed. So you really think that DeSantis can pull off every single delegate from both Texas and Florida, which I don't even think it's winner take all in Texas. It's a stupid strategy. So I hope people in DeSantis's camp or people that support DeSantis realize this is an unsustainable strategy. You cannot just bank on Florida and Texas because, there's a lot of delegates there. If you lose the first 4 primary states, you're done. In particular, South Carolina, if you lose it by that much, it's kind of game over. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.